preparation for our less stress at the vet workshop, I'm going to add in another exercise that I do with my dogs, and that is incorporating go to your place, and in a minute we'll be using this as Marshall's place, with helping your dog feel comfortable in new situations. For example, laying their place on the scale. So if you train with something that's lightweight and portable, such as a crepe mat or a towel, you can take it everywhere you go. This can also help just being in the exam room. If my dog is anxious, nervous, even kind of silly and goofy, it can be any number of things. This gives them a focal point. It gives them something to work on. And you can turn them into training mode as opposed to trying to stop undesirable behavior. You just revert to working on fun skills that you've practiced with them. The key to making this successful at the vet office or anywhere you take this is you have to practice at home. You have to train this to the point that your dog understands what you're doing, enjoys participating in it with you, knows the cue, and that you can make this just part of a training exercise wherever you go. You don't want to just take this mat or blanket with you, put it on the ground, and automatically expect your dog to go onto it. It's not going to work very well. So what I typically do is start training at home. This is just a cloth mat that goes in his crate if I take him somewhere. And just put it on the ground, and if you've been working on go to your place or settle, you just start with just the simple process of having them go onto the whatever it is, rug, blanket, and then release them to come off of it when you're done. So for Marshall, we've trained since he was a little puppy. We would start by shaping. He would go onto whatever it is with all fours, and then release means come off of it, and he gets a second reward for coming off of it when I release him. And then we practice a little bit more, just capturing him with 4 feet on the mat or rug, release, which is his word that tells him he's free to move. Once he had a lot of practice and I gave it a name, go to your place, which for him means go to it and sit down. He can either sit or lie. Eventually he would lie down if I just left him here. And then release, and then he'll come off of it. And if you think about using this in the vet office, you would just walk in, lay whatever this is on the scale, and then cue your dog to go to their place or settle whatever cue you're using, as opposed to trying to drag them onto a surface that they're not familiar with or they think is scary. So the first step, again, is shaping this behavior, giving it a name, practicing in different locations in your home. You also don't want your dog to only feel comfortable going onto their place or their mat if it's always in the same place. So once I train the behavior, I take this all over the place. I drop it on my bedroom floor, the bathroom floor, the kitchen, the deck, anywhere that I can practice having him go to this. He's learned that he stays on his place until he hears his release word, which is release, and then he knows he can come off of it. If I know that my vet office has their scale up against a wall, which many clinics do, then once I have him practicing the behavior, then I take this rug and I put it up against a wall so it simulates a little bit more coming onto it when he's up against the wall, not just out in the middle of a room. So partial release. So again, I'll move this, put it over here, and then I can practice with him a number of ways. Marshall, go to your place. When he goes on to his place, then release, and then he can come off of it. I can simulate walking him onto the scale. Marshall, go to your place. Good job. Release. As I shared in a previous video, dogs going onto the scale, it doesn't have to be them lying down or sitting down. We just need them to be standing on it for a few seconds for the number to register. But there are a lot of ways to accomplish the same goal that don't involve pulling them on by their leash, grabbing them by the collar, pushing them into a sit. All those things tend to stress and frustrate dogs. And then the next time you take them in there, they're not going to want to get on the scale. So practicing this simple go to your place exercise, you can use it in so many different areas with your dog, from training to going to the vet, to going out in public, to just having them chill out in your house when you don't want them charging around all the time. But again, you have to teach the skill, practice it in a variety of locations, give it a name, then you can start to use it. So that is our training tip for the day.